Hello and welcome to Daily Work Remote Strategies. We're thrilled that you're here and we're going to be talking about the 5 P's of leading with confidence. But before we do, this is our amazing coach, Ilene Schaffer, and she's going to lead us in a stretch. So we're going to do a stretch before we even launch in. Let's do it.
All right. So I was reading someplace about, I don't know that they called it COVID neck, but I'm going to call it COVID neck, on how tight our necks are right now. So we are going to do a neck stretch, and in the spirit of the confidence theme for today, we're going to just do our neck going forward and back with yes, I can. So we're going to go yes, and then to the middle, I, and look up to the ceiling, can. And just say that to yourself over and over again. Yes, I, looking down, can, looking forward, bring it back up, yes, and in the middle, I, and then down, can. And then join me back in the center, and then we're gonna go to the right, middle, left, and we're gonna say, I am strong. And I know these affirmations sound silly, but for some reason, negative self-talk doesn't sound silly. Really? So let's get rid of the negative talk and let's bring in the positive talk and embrace affirmation. So I, and then in the middle, am, and the left, strong. And then I'm going to let you do it on your own. And then we'll rejoin in the middle. So these neck exercises are really good to do regularly right now. I think we're sitting in spaces that are not ergonomically correct. And so as much as you can to kind of get your neck going, also the one where you go side to side is also helpful. So should I take it from here, Sonia, or did you want to come back?
That sounds great. Just want to let you know that Ilene Schaffer is a coach with us. She's done a few of these programs. So if you like this one, you can find other ones that Ilene has done. And today we're talking about the 5 P's of leading with greater confidence. Ilene Schaffer.
Okay. So I'm going to give you 2 versions of an intro, and then I'm going to have you vote on which one you would feel more confident that you could learn something from me about confidence. So first one. Okay, good morning, everybody. We're gonna talk about confidence. Okay, option number 1. Option number 2, good morning. We are gonna talk about confidence today. So you get to vote. You don't have to put it in the chat, but think about it. My guess is if we were together in a room, you'd all say, yeah, of course, number 2. It's kind of a no-brainer. What's interesting about that, if you picked number 2, you'd have more confidence in learning about confidence from me with version number 2. The interesting thing is, it's the same me. I have the same education, the same experience. I'm wearing the same clothes. My hair is the same way. There is nothing different about me, except for how I presented myself. So in a few moments, we will be talking about physical presence. But before we get there, I want to just talk about a kind of a working definition that we could use for self-confidence. So write this down. It's super technical. I'm going to say it pretty slowly. Feeling good in your own skin. That's how technical it is. That's what confidence is. It's feeling good in your own skin. Nothing else to it. And so what we also know with confidence is it's not always having the right answer. It's not even knowing the answers, right or wrong. It is being able to be vulnerable, to ask for help. All those things are about being confident and feeling good in your skin that, yeah, I don't know the answers. I'm going to get help. It also is boosting other people up, shining that light on somebody else so they can be center stage. So when we're thinking about leadership, who can you shine the light on so that they can be center stage? That shows confidence in you. So those are some things to think about confidence in its kind of a nutshell. And you're thinking, wait, this is supposed to be leading with confidence. True. However, it all starts with you. If you're not confident, it's really tough to lead with confidence and to lead authentically. So the more you feel good in your own skin, you've got this. You can lead with confidence. So we're going to start with you, and then we're going to build on. And I always say with these talks, buckle up. We've got a lot to cover in 20 minutes. So get ready, we're gonna do it. So I started out thinking, okay, there are 5 Ps that I really think about as we layer on to our feeling good in our own skin. What are things we can do to build that confidence? Because it is like a muscle. I believe we all start with a ton of confidence. And then through life, our confidence gets knocked around. Sometimes it grows, sometimes it shrinks. And we have the opportunity to constantly build it. So how do we do that? So I came up with 5 Ps. And at first I called it a pyramid. And then like one of the people who wrote in the chat that she's kind of done with the COVID, I was thinking, yeah, we need it to be more fun than a pyramid. Who needs a pyramid? So I created a party hat. It's the confidence 5P party hat. And Senya, if you don't mind just putting in the link on my website, if you go to the contact page, and Senya is going to give you the link, feel free to add your name to my newsletter. I promise you won't be bombarded. I try to get out 1 newsletter a year. So and if that's the most you get from me, you're welcome to add your name to the contact. I'd love you to join my list. And if you don't want to do that, no problem. You can scroll to the very bottom and it says Confidence Party Hat. Tap on that and you'll be able to download the party hat right now. And then you can cut it out and decorate it as you please. So we are going to start at the very base of the party hat, and that is patience. Patience is something that is critical in building self-confidence. And with that comes self-compassion. It's being patient with yourself and being kind. We never build self-confidence when we're not kind to ourselves. So you've got to have self-confidence or self-compassion to also be kind. So the patience piece, I can't tell you how many clients I have had that said, I'm going to sign up for that committee or lead such and such or go for that job when I feel more confident. And I sit there and I say, are you waiting for it to knock on your door? Confidence will never come knocking on your door. You have to develop it. And it's through experience, practice, and patience. It takes time to build confidence. So that is at the very bottom of our pyramid, or not our pyramid, our party hat now. The next thing is presence. So just like I started the session today on my physical presence, you have the choice of kind of like this or opening it up. There's the physical presence piece, which is huge in conveying confidence to others about what you know and feeling it yourself. I highly recommend, if you haven't already seen Amy Cuddy's TED Talk on body posture and power poses, and it looks like Senya might be popping that into the chat box for us. Her power poses are amazing. I just got, which was so perfectly timed for this talk, I had a client of mine working on a huge negotiation, and she texted me on Monday. We spent a day, or not a day, we spent a meeting prepping for it, and she contacted me on Monday and she said, I nailed it. She said, I did the power poses, and then, which we'll get to, she did the preparation we talked about. So we're going to get to that in a moment. But the power poses work. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, do the power poses. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch Amy Cuddy's video. So that is that physical presence and getting yourself primed. Physical also is your well-being. So physically taking care of your body, being strong, nourishing yourself well, getting sleep, all those things contribute to you feeling more confident. So our physical, feeling in control of our physical being helps to your confidence level. So that's another piece of the presence, the physical presence. Now there's presence of mind. Essentially what that is just feeling calm. So feeling like I'm capable, I'm calm, I've got this. So I always figure out how to get breathing weaved into my talks because I am such a firm believer of breathing. Yes, we do it all the time. However, that exhale is huge in rest and digest and getting us to a calm level so we can think more clearly. So if you're going into a meeting that you're going to lead that you're anxious about, doing breath work, huge to get you to a place of calm. So that's mental presence as well as physical presence. We're moving up the party hat to preparation. That's the other piece that my client had talked about. she was so prepared when she went into this meeting. She was very anxious at first because she said the person who she was talking with can talk circles around what she's saying and then it gets all distracted. So we prepared for that. And she was ready with every single fact she could possibly get her hand on. So being prepared gets your mind primed for what you're going to be doing. And it tells your mind that you've got this, you have every information necessary. So when our emotional brain starts to say, I can't do this, that's okay. You've got information, you have facts. Knowledge is power, and it's definitely power when we're talking about confidence. So that is preparing. So who do you need to talk to? What questions do you need to ask? I was just talking to a friend of mine who is in a constantly, her position is she's constantly going up, as she said, into the buzzsaw, which so that's a regular kind of environment she goes into for meetings, and said, how do you maintain your confidence and your composure? Breathing, so that physical presence, resting, again, the physical piece. And she said, asking a lot of questions and listening. That is how she maintains confidence. So that's part of the preparation, is asking questions and listening. Seeking out help. Both Senya and I were on a call earlier. I think you were on it, Senya, with Venus Williams was leading stretches. And she was talking, and I loved what she had said. She said, build a good team and don't do it alone. And that's part of that preparation. She was talking about how she prepares for things. She has a great team. And she also says, I wrote this one down, I loved it. You don't always know how, but you will. You will make it happen. And so that's part of the preparation. You don't know how all the time, but if you prepare, you're gonna start to get yourself where you need to be. The next one, practice. So practice is what primes your mind of, this isn't my first rodeo. When your brain thinks this is the first time I've done something, it kind of goes into high alert, like, I don't know that I can do this. So preparation is key in calming yourself. And there are two key ways that I like to prepare. One is role playing. So if you have someone, it could be a colleague, it could be a family member. Let's say you're going into a tough conversation and you need to lead with confidence. You might want to role play with somebody. If you don't have someone to role play with, visualization is huge. It really primes your mind to think, I've been here before. I've got this. A key in your visualization, if you're going into something tough, is to make sure that you also visualize that tough piece. Oftentimes with visualization, we do the perfect scenario. It's like, okay, I'm visualizing everything going smoothly. Well, you're probably going to walk into a situation that's not perfectly smooth. So get prepared for the bumps in your mind. So as you go through, you think about, how am I going to get over this bump? And then what it does is it calms that fight and flight reflex of, oh gosh, I'm out of my league, I need to jam. No, I've done this, I've got it. And you can exhale and rest and digest and handle it with a calm mind. So those are two practice things. Last night in bed, my husband looked over, he said, what are you doing? Are you meditating? I said, no, I'm going through my talk. And that's what I do. I sit there with my eyes closed and I'm like, I go through it. And then as Senya knows, or anyone else on the call who knows me, I always take my talk for a walk, always. And that's how I practice it. And it just kind of sits in and it's like, this feels good. And so then I get to you all, and this isn't my first rodeo. I can't tell you how many times I've kind of thought of different things or important stories to bring in. Okay, so practice, practice, practice. And the final, at the very tippy top of this, is people. People are important. We know people are important. And I want to share with you kind of different angles to look at people being at the pinnacle of this party hat. So one way is asking for help. Again, the more you can figure out, who can I ask for help? Who's a mentor? Who's a leader? Who do I admire? Who has the information I need? Am I comfortable to be vulnerable? Because that again shows my strength. Gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you help me out here? I would love to learn from you. That's people. You also want to be able to think about, who could I contact ahead of time? If you're going into a tough meeting or something like that, you might want to contact somebody ahead of time and say, hey, I know you'll be in this meeting. I'm going to call on you to also help contribute. That's another way to feel a little bit more confident. And shining the light on somebody else. That gives you an opportunity to say, I'm letting you go center stage because you've got this, and you just sit back and watch them shine. Because when you allow other people to shine, you rise with them. So the more you can put somebody else on center stage, that also shows your ability to feel good in self, or good with yourself and good in your own skin. So a couple other things with the people piece of this. If you're going, this is actually a good example. So I was called in to do, I was external. Somebody called me in and they said, we need a leadership retreat. We're having trust issues. And so we want you to come in and do a workshop for us. And it was the leadership team who brought me in to do this. And I said, I'm great with doing that. I love this. And we worked through, and I said, I'll develop a program for you all. So that was all good. And I said, the only way that I'll do this is if I can meet with every person individually before going into this retreat. And the reason I wanted to do that is I needed to connect with them and bring them in with me. Otherwise, I'd be out there trying to confidently bring them and say, you know, okay, you need to see things this way. There's a trust issue, and they don't know me. They don't know anything. I thought, I need them as partners. And so I met with each one. I figured out what were their challenges? What were their issues? How were they feeling? So when I walked in the room, they knew I had their back, and I could also look to them to contribute. And it wasn't like I was looking to this audience who didn't know me and were like, okay, she's one of them. We could all come together. So the more you can bring people together, again, it boosts your confidence. And so it was a great retreat. It was a ton of participation, trust. I felt confident in leading the retreat, and they felt confident in me representing them. Okay, so it went both ways. So those are some ways to look at confidence. The last thing is, if you don't know anybody in the room, or let's say you have an interview and you're trying to present yourself with confidence, always look for the smiley face. If you can find somebody in there who you can pick up their energy, that mirror neurons, and pick up the positive vibes, it is contagious, I promise you. So always look for the friendly face in the crowd, and periodically take a glance at them, and that will re-energize you. Sometimes on Zoom, it's a little harder. You're scrolling through quickly the little boxes. Okay, I need to find a smiley face, but that will also help you. So that is our people piece. So I'm going to leave you with 3 questions so that you can put this into play immediately. Right when you click off your computer, you are ready to roll. So the first question, who can you identify right now who you can raise up, who you can put the spotlight on and highlight? So whether it's in your next meeting, whether you give them a call and just say, I just want you to know I admire you. I admire your knowledge, whatever. So who can you raise up and show confidence in yourself that way by raising somebody else up? Number 2, in what area can you dangle your toe and grow a little bit? Push yourself to feel a little bit of fear so you can build that muscle of confidence. And then the last question, and I just want to make sure that I got it. Yes, who can I learn from today? Who do you want to reach out to and learn from? Again, that shows confidence. I feel good in my skin because I want to learn from others. I feel that strong that I want to extend myself and learn from others. So those are your 3 things to do today. I want to leave with a quote that I absolutely love. And I got it from my doctor's office. They give out these little cards with quotes. And it says, you already possess everything necessary to become great. And I would actually say you already possess everything necessary to be a confident leader. So absolutely everything is in you already. And now it's a matter of making it shine and putting your party hat on. That's it. I'm open for questions.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've seen pyramids a bazillion times, but I've never seen a pyramid turned into a party hat.
But in the time of COVID, we need a party. I need a party.
We need a party. We need COVID head exercises. COVID
exactly.
head. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. We've got questions for you, but as we are asking the questions, I'll also invite people to tell us in the chat, what is one thing you are taking away? Ilene has this pyramid. What is one thing you are taking away? What of that pyramid is the thing that's fastest for you? It could be one of the 3 questions. So let us know what you're taking away from today. Okay, tons of questions for you. So here, let's start with the first one. First one is, somebody says, I truly struggle with feeling comfortable in my own skin when I'm not in shape. Any suggestions, since it's the building block?
Absolutely. No, thank you for saying that first off. And that alone shows vulnerability to put that out there. So thank you. I really appreciate your question. And I worked for a couple of years in a program where people, it was a wellness program, and people were looking to get in better shape. It was losing considerable amount of weight. And I really noticed the shift as we worked on different behavior modification, and as they started to exercise more and eat healthier. Just even the body posture started to open up as people would walk in the room. I'm like, you're a different person. And again, it wasn't necessarily that they had lost X amount of pounds or anything. It was they started to feel like they had more control and in their life. So the more you can start to look at and even pick one teeny tiny thing, like, you know what, all I'm going to do this week is try to walk around the block a few times. That's all I'm going to do. And it gives you a taste of control, a little bite of control. And then the more you can do that, or even I'm going to go to the supermarket and today I'm only going to bring in fruits and vegetables. I'm not going to go down this aisle, whatever your detrimental aisle is. I'm going to pass on that. Just do one tiny thing and build on that, because getting a little bit of control, you're going to continue to feel more and more confident as you move forward.
So take a bit of control about the whole body image thing and feel that confidence. It sounds like you're saying, don't even look in the mirror yet. Don't look at the scale, but just feel the confidence first.
Absolutely. And I'm not a scale fan. I don't have one in the house. I'm not a scale fan, even though I realize sometimes for medical reasons, we need a scale. So I understand that. But it's really, a lot of it is feeling like I'm getting back in control. I have one client who I'm working with on this issue a lot right now. And that's what we decided. It's like, you know what, let's do something tiny. And she wrote me actually a text last week and she said, I reached all my goals. I'm feeling so good. And I'm like, yes. And because we started off tiny and we're just building on it, and it's getting a taste of control. That's all we're talking about, is regaining a sense of control of your life. And that builds on that feeling good in your own skin.
Awesome. By the way, the person just wrote back and said, thank you. I love the idea of gaining a little bit of control and seeing that as a win.
Oh, good.
Here are some comments that people are of what they're taking away. So one person says, I love the suggestion of shining the light on someone. This person has a presentation today and they already know who they're going to shine the light on.
That gives me chills. Oh my gosh. I love it. Yes.
And another person says, I'm taking away the walk with your talk. And so this person says, Ilene, do you ever record it and listen to it?
I don't, because it's just in my mind when I'm doing it. So I don't, yeah. But I think that's a great idea. If you are someone who likes to externally process, I think that's a fantastic idea to talk. And actually, oh, I know who I was like, this is bringing up a memory. I just had a client who I was working with who had done a whole journal writing, he read it to me because it was really powerful for him. And I suggested doing exactly that. I said, I'm going to ask you to audio tape that so you can hear your own voice and hear what you just said to me, because it's really powerful. So I think it's a great idea. I don't personally do it, but I literally just did that. And it brought up that memory. I'm thinking, where did this come from? And that's where it was.
And another person seconded. So we're getting a few seconds on the walk the talk. So you're going to have everybody in this COVID time for all the webinars that they're doing, just practicing and walking their talk. Awesome.
I love that. I walk through everything in life goes for a walk with me.
Here's another question for you. Any tips on the presence piece? So you're in the party hat, the presence piece over Zoom.
Over Zoom. Great question. I do think there's a lot we can do over Zoom and it's interesting. I used to only do my practice in person because I thought I can't I like that in-person contact. And then we've moved a bunch. So I've had to get used to phone calls. I do all my work with clients outside of my Silicon Valley coaching. I walk with clients. And so it's all on the phone. We're not on video. And that's how I connect. So I've had to develop those skills. And now with Zoom, we really have to. So one of the best things you could do is the physical presence. And so having your shoulders back and Senya talks a lot about this, is, you know, how you see yourself in the screen also, and proportionally what's behind you. There's a whole essence about your presence. And so having a backdrop that you connect with, that other people might connect with, that's part of your physical presence on Zoom. I keep thinking it would be a great business for someone to become a Zoom designer. Like, you meet with them and you say, okay, I want a couch here, and they design a whole background for you. But in the meantime, create the background that you want, physically keep yourself where you want to be. And then the eye contact, make sure that you're still being able to laugh and have fun. So have your personality come through. And I did not think, I've never done Zoom clients until I started working with Silicon Valley coaching. And at first I thought, this is gonna be awkward. And it's not. You get used to it. And that goes back to the practice piece. The practicing more and more, your physical presence becomes more comfortable on video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Another question. You're peppered with them today.
I love it.
Could you please hold up your party hat for this one?
Oh yeah.
The question.
And my party hat got stained right before this talk, which is bumming me out. But anyway.
Eileen, this is exactly the kind of thing that we don't notice. For us, it could be a reflection of light or all of that.
Thank you.
So here's the question. In keeping these 5 in mind, the specific question is, should you prepare this confidence about these 5 in advance of something happening? Or is this the kind of thing that you can practice right before a situation?
You know, it's so funny that you asked that. So I was watching my clock because I wanted to do on the spot confidence as well. So in addition to preparing, but I didn't have a lot of time. So thank you for asking the question. And now I'm going to run through that answer quickly. All of this you can do before. Start it now, right? And then now let's say you're in a meeting or right before a meeting, but even in a meeting, because that's more tense even. You're right there in the moment. What can you do with the party hat in the moment? And so, and you could even have it, you know, kind of jotted down on your, right on your table or something. But there's a couple different things you can do. First of all, self-compassion. You don't need to prepare self-compassion. Think about what you're saying to yourself. Remember at the beginning what we did of, yes, I can, I am strong. So those kind of things you can be talking to yourself in the moment. So that's that self-compassion piece. The presence piece, having your shoulders back. You could choose to be like this, or you could choose to be like this. That is in the moment. So that's presence. Preparation. Let's say you're in a meeting and people are talking about stuff around you and you know you want to contribute, jot some notes down quickly. What do I want to say? How do I want to prepare what I'm going to say so I feel more confident? So that's that preparation. You can even practice it in your head while somebody else is talking, like, okay, I want to say this or what have you. And then people, okay, look around the room. Who do I want to connect with? Who do I want to make sure that eye contact with? Maybe I have a friend in the room. Okay, if I look at them when I'm saying this, I'll feel more at home. So those are things you can do in the moment to use the party hat.
I love the preparation piece of that, because sometimes we don't think that we can actually prepare in the moment. It's not like we need 3 months of preparation.
Exactly. No, absolutely. And you could even jot down, if something comes up in a meeting, you could quickly think, okay, wait a second. I know I wrote something about this recently. I know I read a blog about this. I know I was just in a strategy meeting where we talked about this. Whatever it is, jot it down real quickly. And remember, nobody has access to your brain. So no one knows that you're like, oh gosh, I don't know what I'm talking about or what I'm doing. No one has that knowledge, only you. So you're going to be presenting yourself. And the one thing that I wanted to make sure and say is that fake it till you make it, I am not a fan of. I say practice till you got it. Okay, so practice till you got it. Because if you fake it till you make it, you're going to arrive there feeling like a fake. No, fake, okay? So practice till you got it. And you could do that in the moment all the time. And That was one takeaway with Venus. She is constantly practicing. She's one of the best tennis players in the world for years. She practices nonstop. And one quote she said is, "Don't ask for less challenges, ask for more skills."
Yeah, I thought she was talking about the flow chart on that one.
I loved it. Yeah.
I'm going to include the Venus link in this video, because I agree with you. That was an intense stretching session. That was not like a shake your head. That was a serious stretching session.
Okay, full disclosure, I was walking while listening to her. I didn't do the stretches.
That's really funny. We'll send the link. So I will end by reading off Eileen's questions to you, which are 3 questions. Who can you identify right now whom you can raise up? In what area can you dangle your toe and grow a little bit where you might have some fear? And whom can you learn from today? Eileen, anything else to add as we close?
I think that's it. I think if you take away one thing, you have all that you need right now, right here. So when you turn this computer off and you step into whatever you're stepping into, you've got it. So go and be it, and be well, take good care.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you so much, Eileen, for this wonderful session on confidence. Thank you.
My pleasure. So fun always to be here.
Thank you. All the best. See you next time. Be well.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day.